Hello everyone, welcome to Less Code, More Power. Today, Donna and I are joined by Alex and Dominic, and they're going to show an amazing app that brings people together in this new hybrid environment. Stay tuned.
Welcome back to Less Code, More Power. I'm one of your hosts, Dona and Sarah, and my lovely co-host is
Sarah Critchley. Hi everyone.
Today, we have two incredible guests who are going to talk about how they have solved a very annoying problem, not just for you and me, but for every single person who works in a company. Welcome, Dominic and Alex, to Less Code, More Power.
Hello.
Hi. Hello, you two. Thank you so much for joining us all the way from the UK, where we wish we were in person doing this. Will you please introduce yourselves, what you do, what's the deal? Alex?
I'll go first, sure. So my name is Alex Gibson. I'm the M365 strategy lead at a company called FSP. We're basically a Microsoft Gold partner, a digital agency. And my job really is to partner with companies like BDO to make sure they get the most value for money out of their Microsoft Stack investment.
Love that. And then Dominic.
Hey, so I'm Dominic Rodney, and I'm from a company called BDO, an accountancy firm within the UK. I work as a business relationship manager. And yeah, my role in the company is to ultimately connect, facilitate, and coordinate between our business units and IT.
I love this, that we have a Microsoft partner and an accounting firm who work together to identify and solve a business problem. So tell us a little bit about the business problem itself. Or was it like a business problem, a social problem? How did this come to be, this project of yours?
Yeah, so ultimately we have our own in-house ideation platform, and within that, one of our very own talents reached out to make an idea in regards to connecting junior members of staff with senior members of staff, ultimately to connect and share expertise and also build meaningful connections. And that's ultimately how the idea started. However, during the pilot, during the first phase of it, we actually noticed that, well, not noticed, but the pandemic hit. So C19 hit, and then we lost obviously the face-to-face connection that we were having within the office and sort of water cooler conversations that you were having. So we started to adapt the idea, and that's when we introduced some of the Power Applications, MS Teams, virtual meetings into that application to solve that issue, where people might have been feeling a little bit lonely on this by themselves and not having much interaction with people from the office as well.
Yeah.
So I love that. Sorry, Alex, go ahead.
I was going to say, it kind of evolved. So it was as Dom says, originally just, we have a vibrant early in careers program, 600 graduates a year. You know, BDO is quite a large organization, and we have a prolific partner team. Let's find a way. People who want to be mentors, match them with people who want to be mentored. It's perfect. When COVID-19 hit, it was like, okay, now this is even more important than ever, because I just remember back to my own days as a graduate. I learned so much via osmosis. I learned being taught direct, but mainly I learned just by observing other people in the office, how they spoke to each other, how they conducted themselves. And you lose, if you're starting a job right now, you don't get any of that. You're just in meetings and then you're by yourself at home. And what this allows people to do is just make those informal connections with people who want to give their time, who want to volunteer their time to foster the next generation of talent. And it's been a real success.
That's what I love about it. This is Donna's and my kind of jam, right? But you know what I love about it the most is it was an organic idea, that this actually came from the company.
Yeah.
And the fact that they want to do it wasn't pushed on anyone or anything like that. It was an organic idea. I love that.
Because it's solving a real problem for people in the company. And when people work together better and learn better, you make better products. That's just true. So this is a Power App solution. So I'm extremely happy. Do you want to show us? Because I think the audience is going to love it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So I called this out at Ignite when I was hosting, because I loved this concept so much, and I totally want to do this at Microsoft. So I'm going to try to see if we can make our IT team do it.
You're a star at BDO now. They loved you for that.
Yeah, absolutely. It was awesome. So one of the things I'm just going to walk you through is how it goes from start to end. So you click onto new connections, where you look to find a new connection with one of the stream. We click here where you can see advisory, audit, practice management departments, or random. So you have the opportunity of just clicking random if that's what you choose to do. So if I click underneath practice PMDs. Ultimately, you can select within those PMD functions. You can do that for any of the streams. So you can choose to have a conversation with someone in IT. We've actually given the capability of being able to pick what seniority it is that you can go for. So you can go for someone that's more junior to yourself if you'd like to share your expertise or build a relationship with somebody there. Maybe it's somebody on the same peer level or senior to yourself as well. And naturally, because we're just coming out of lockdown, we've still enabled it that you can have virtual meetings. The locations are Teams, where hopefully in future we might be able to extend that to face-to-face meetings as well. So then you'll then click here. You'll be able to select the dates for that. So I'm going to go for one for tomorrow. You click OK. You click a specific time that's that you know you're available within your own calendar, and then you just literally find the connection, and that will shoot off and find another connection, and it then allows you to see where your existing connections are or make another connection off the back of that as well.
Dominic, did you find that this also promoted like cross-department collaboration that probably was actually a bit more difficult before?
Absolutely. Some of the feedback that we've got is based around that and being able to understand parts of the firm that people didn't actually know existed. So they've been building relationships, and also it's helped nurture those relationships a lot more and a lot better. Myself, I've used this and I found it absolutely exceptional for that. There were parts in the business or people that I wouldn't have been able to speak to on a day-to-day basis that I've struck up some really good relationships with and had some really, really good conversations. So yeah, it's been exceptional.
What I like about this is it kind of solves that annoying problem that people like me and Sarah have also, which is we're both outgoing people. We love to talk to people we don't know. We will randomly talk to people we don't know, but it's really hard when you're stuck at home. Like in the office, I'm like, who are you? Right? I don't know you. Tell me your deal. What's your shtick? Because that's how you learn new things, projects, brainstorming. Like serendipitous connections are not a thing you can do on formal Teams meetings, right? And I love the fact that you can say like, oh, who are willing to mentor and meet? That sounds awesome. I've always wanted to meet someone from that team or even that person. And you can form this connection. This would just be helpful for us senior people as well, just to be able to make friends in the company with people who you don't have like formal business stuff to do with. So
almost keep our feet on the ground, right, Donna? Like it's easy for senior people to like kind of just be senior and stuff like that, right? And no senior people. Whereas like it's so important to remember that, you know, new people coming into the company, how the company, you know, is appearing as well for other people, not just in your senior position.
That's right. And it's ideal for this concept called reverse mentoring, which is such a huge thing in the industry right now, where how do senior people understand what, you know, millennial, Gen Z, et cetera, want from a workplace and from products. And the key is reverse mentoring. But many senior people are like, how do you reverse mentor someone? I don't want to harass my intern. And this is a really good way to say, oh, look, new hires who want to talk to me, I want to talk to them. So let's each get something out of it. So such a cool tool. It's just such an interesting idea. So simple, but wonderful. Absolutely awesome. So I bet lots of people have benefited, Dominic. Can you share any stories of how it's impacted people?
Yeah, absolutely. So we've actually had it from both ends of the spectrum. We've had a partner that made free connections within her first sort of couple of months here. And she absolutely loved it. She simply said that she made connections with those people that she probably wouldn't have had the luxury of doing if she was in the office, which is also really endearing and exceptional to hear, that you are actually building connections that you might not have been able to achieve even if you were face to face. And on the other end of the spectrum, somebody that had been a graduate here had said that it's one of the best initiatives they've seen in the last 2 years, and they've been able to build relationships with people that they hadn't had conversations with within their own department. So it has been definitely from both ends of the spectrum an exceptional tool.
Perfect. I think that's the key, right? Like I wouldn't have even known this was possible. Like I didn't know what I didn't know. So Alex, do you want to show us a little bit behind the scenes on how it works?
Absolutely, I'd love to.
Awesome.
So this is the Coffee Connection dashboard. Normally people don't get to see this. This is just for the admins and the owners. But just this is really what powers the application. It's really straightforward. You've got a Power App, which is what you interact with. There's a Power Automate Flow that does the matchmaking. And then you've got this, it's just a SharePoint online communication site that houses all of the data. And what this allows us to do, firstly, there's this lovely little Power BI dashboard. So we can, you know, the owners of the system, which you can see on the right-hand side, can keep track of, you know, there's 400 requests made so far, you know, 280 discrete users. how many are actually in the system right now, how many meetings have already been completed and had, and just some stats on how many people submitted alternate dates, how many people got a match immediately. So it just allows us to see how smooth the user experience is. And all of the things you need to drive the system are on the left-hand side, which means although Power Apps, can be done by any sort of maker, any sort of Power App user, what this allows us to do is, if we want to add new locations, for example, you don't even need to be a Power App maker to add a new location. You can add, when the office reopens, you can add an office location here just by editing this list, and that will pull through to the Coffee Connections app. So all of the maintenance of the application are done via the SharePoint site. If I want to add new topics of conversation, I can do so here. So that's a really nice way of structuring your application, just so you don't have to republish applications. You don't have to contact a maker. You can make metadata changes, informational changes to your app without having to publish it. So that's a really nice way of doing it. And we can see Dom's request. That was the one he made during the demo, has come through the system. And there's one of the real thing that I guess I'd call out is, one of the most important things was because the people you'd be contacting, some of whom were like partner level, they were very senior, and although they volunteered, we didn't want to sort of harass them with 10 connection invites. So it evenly distributes the requests across all users, all mentors or volunteers. So you'll see, if you look at times contacted, pretty much everyone's at 1. So because we have like hundreds of volunteers, most people have only ever been asked to be a connection mentor once, because again, we're distributing all the requests perfectly evenly across all of our participants. That's another kind of top tip for any matchmaking you're doing.
So smart. I like how you've thought this through and said, people don't want to be bombarded with like 10 mentor requests, and also to change location. Like I would totally add like my favorite speakeasy, the Mayor of Frady Cat Town.
There you go.
That's when we do my mentorship sessions. People are like, what? I'm like, if you can find it in the refrigerator, then you can go downstairs, then I can be your mentor. Okay, so y'all, we never let anyone go without assigning homework for the audience. So what homework do you have? Well, call to action.
Dom, do you have anything in mind?
I was actually looking towards you to see what you had, to be honest.
I would say, I guess the biggest thing I would say on the Power Platform basis is, what opportunities have COVID, or has the new hybrid working scenario, let's say, presented for you to exploit via innovation of some kind? So for example, we've seen another BDO example, so from BDO, they produced all this new government regulations came out, tax relief and furlough benefits, all these kind of things. How can they articulate those to their customers, and what new opportunities, new commercial opportunities have arisen as a result of the new desire to work remotely? And they've sort of taken the bull by the horns, and they've turned a little SharePoint site with a little Power App to just log, I think this is a good opportunity. This piece of regulation is going to affect 30% of our customer base. Let's speak to those people. So I would start with there. What new opportunities have arisen because of the new hybrid working scenario? And do a proof of concept. Start simple.
I love that.
That's what I would do.
That's great.
Okay, thank you both so much for being here and sharing this amazing concept. Sarah and I are 100% going to steal this idea for our own companies, and she's a director of something very important. So.
This has been awesome. Thank you so much. I think you're going to inspire, it's small to large companies, just by, like you said, Alex, with your call to action, an actual very simple idea. It's often those ideas that we overlook because we want to do things overly complex and stuff like that as well, right? So
start simple.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you both so much. This has been an amazing episode.
Thanks for having us.
Absolute pleasure. Thanks for having me. Yeah. Thanks.
All right. Till next time. Let's code.
More power.